Okay, we're gonna play a little game. It's kind of like 20
Duck,
questions.
goose.
No.
No, not an ultimate game.
Kind of like 20 questions, but only 10.
10. And then 5 apiece. So it's like
10
20
questions.
questions divided by. Okay, this is
That's
really
a lot
awkward.
of math. Okay, so this is going to be completely impromptu. Get to know Joe and Charity. We've been married for over 31 years, and maybe there's something I don't know about you. Maybe there's something you don't know about me.
Maybe.
So I'm going to ask him a question, and he has to answer it, and then he gets to ask me one, and we'll go back and forth. So
All right.
you're first. Have you been thinking about what you want to ask?
No, I thought you were the one that came up with this, so I'm going.
I'll ask first.
Seems right.
What's the funniest thing you've ever said?
I don't know if it's the funniest because I'm hilarious, but one of the things that always stuck with me that I said was when I was like 16 years old, we were going up to a Christmas farm or Christmas thing. And
Christmas tree farm?
Yeah, well, sort of like in the parking lots. When I was with my dad and I at that time were a little estranged.
Oh, you're getting your tree.
We're
at
getting
like
a tree.
lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so we kind of pulled up and there was a guy with super long hair and hat on and I said, ho, 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 hippie. And that always stuck with me, kind of something funny, because I made my dad laugh, and that, that was kind
That
of
was hard to do.
It was hard to do.
It was really hard to make his dad laugh.
That was true. So that stuck with me. Like I got him to laugh, so I felt like that was quite the accomplishment. Yeah.
All right, your turn.
I would say return the favor, but you're not really that funny, so I'm not sure you could recall.
I am surprisingly witty.
Surprisingly witty.
And I remind him that all the time.
All the time. So if you're to say surprisingly witty, then what is a witty thing that has surprised others that you've said?
Good question. I can't remember.
See, and that's the point right there. That is exactly what we got to. So I'm going to make this easier. When you were a kid, what was your favorite ice cream? Because you are an ice cream fan.
I am an ice cream fan. I liked all ice cream, but I can tell you an ice cream story.
Yep.
Okay, so here's an ice cream story. I went on to a slumber party and we went to this ice cream place and they had licorice ice cream. I absolutely hate licorice. I think this was like in 3rd grade. But because the other girls were getting it, I decided to get it. But instead of eating it, we decided to smear it all over our faces. So my face was like green. All of our faces were green for the rest of the evening and probably the next day because we were in 3rd grade, so we probably didn't wash our faces.
Gotcha. Just all over your face with ice cream.
Did you know that story?
I had no idea.
See? It's a good thing we're doing this.
I did learn something new. Crazy. I was thinking you were going to share like a Baskin Robbins story because you worked at Baskin Robbins.
And I did work at Baskin Robbins. But I can share that another day.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, my turn.
Yep.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done? There's a lot of crazy things.
That you don't know about?
It's okay if I know about it.
I've done so many stupid things. Like that's the that's
hard
really
to
it
choose.
really
Sort of
is.
like it was so hard for me to come up with something funny because
Yeah.
there's so many to
There
choose
is a
from.
plethora of things. I would say probably some of my snowboarding accidents, deciding to jump off cliffs and on a snowboard, 2 operations on my knee. Probably should have decided differently at least the second time. It's the second time.
First time you never know what's going to happen, but the second time
it's
you
like,
have history.
I might have a result that's similar, and it was.
Yeah.
There's good surgery.
Your turn.
As a kid, what was your favorite book?
My favorite book. We had this book, and I have no idea. I can't find it because it's a very strange book. It was this rooster that played the piano, and there was some part of the book that he had a cold, and his friend said tie a sock around it, and that kept being the answer, and they kept tying a lot of socks around his neck.
And then
I really don't know what that whole story was supposed to be about, but I liked
if
it.
anybody knows,
Let me know if you know what book that is.
That's ridiculous. That is awesome.
I know. What number are we on?
I think we're only going to get to 3.
I think we can get there. We can get there. Okay. If you were forced to eat something and you absolutely could not do it, what would that one thing be?
I've done this before. I had a babysitter make us eat, and you probably don't remember this, but some of you do, spaghetti or not spaghetti, spinach in a can, cooked spinach in a can.
That would be the kind of Popeye eats.
Yeah, but we were supposed to eat that for dinner, and I said, I don't think this is a good idea. And she said, no, you have to eat it, because that was back in the 70s. You had to eat it, and I did, and it went in, and it came out over the entire table. So I did ruin dinner, not just for me, but for everybody and all involved.
Your brothers were probably glad that they didn't have to eat their spinach after you.
They may have liked it, but I was like, I think
so
this...
would you eat
No,
spinach in
God,
can
no,
now?
no. Like, it's so gross. I don't know, whoever made that, you have issues. That
Gives
might
you
need
muscles,
therapy.
like Popeye.
Oh, man, I don't know if that happened really. I don't think that was it.
That
I threw up.
whole Popeye show was so that kids would eat their spinach. Because
Possibly.
Probably was.
And smoke a pipe. That'd be the case. I mean, if we're saying like
Maybe it was the 60s and 70s. So.
50s, whatever, so possibly. What is an accomplishment that you're most proud of?
4 children.
Me too. That you got them out?
I got them out, and they're all
Good
grown and amazing kids and contribute to society, and that is a really good accomplishment.
Yeah.
We can take credit for that together.
Thanks, you give me a little prop on that one. We had a primary goal, and this is going to sound so silly, but our primary goal of parenting was that we want to have kids that wanted to be with us when they didn't have to be with us. So that was a predominant goal. We didn't want perfect kids, we just wanted kids that wanted to be with us because we're just kind of family peeps.
And that's happened, which is the coolest part.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
it. No,
Yeah.
best accomplishment. That was a warm fuzzy question.
That was a warm
I need
fuzzy.
to ask you. Oh, I'll ask you a warm fuzzy question.
I don't have this.
Why did you decide that you wanted to marry me?
I was gonna say because she had a really cute butt, but that's probably it. That's probably it. Now,
That's
actually,
not the
that's not his answer. So it's gonna sound like it, but I knew. Okay, I wrecked a motorcycle once when she was on the back of it. We were going around a corner, and this when we were dating, and she'd never been on before, and it was slick, like it just had rained, and we were halfway to a corner, and it wasn't her fault. I told her to always be on the same side, that lean in on the same side as my shoulder of the corner. She remembered halfway through the corner, and when that happened, the weight shifted out, and that bike skidded off into the skylight, and I did do a good thing. Like I went back and was like, hey, before I checked on my bike, that's like all the guys who want to impress your chicks.
Check on the girl first.
Check on the girl first. That'll help. So I went back to her and made sure she was okay. She said it was fun. And I thought, I wreck a lot of things. And if she thinks this is fun, she might be it. She might be the right one. So that's real.
31 years ago.
31 years ago. Yeah. Well, you got your greatest compliment, your favorite ice cream. I would say, what else is necessary? Then, when you have a day to bake, what's something that you love to do and like bake? Because I know baking is one of your cooking things. What's your favorite thing to bake?
Anything with chocolate.
Yes.
I am looking for new recipes all the time. Although
if you have them, send them.
That's right. I have tried and trues that I make all the time, but then I'm always on the hunt for something good.
Yeah.
And I always like it when you're in the kitchen with me, as long as I can have a little sous chef to help me out.
That's good to see that.
Get the heavy mixer out of the pantry.
Merely to serve your women.
But then you get to eat it too.
Yeah.
Although if I make something too chocolatey,
Well,
he doesn't like it, so it kind of benefits me as well.
It does. I'm not much. Chocolate's fine,
Chocolate's not fine.
I'm more.
Chocolate is not
I like
fine.
fruit
No.
better than chocolate. Like berries are better, and apples, like fresh apples and berries.
That was like an extra question I got to ask you. Now you have to ask me one again.
What was the question?
You answered that you liked berries more. So
that's answered.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I like berries more than chocolate. It's a public statement. If anybody else is out there, good for you. Don't capitulate to the chocolatiers.
Chocolatiers. Chocolate lovers.
Chocolate lovers.
Chocolate lovers unite.
If you had to make one different decision in your life, what would it be?
You're not scared to ask that question.
I'm apparently not confident in this one. 31 years later, it's not on the radar.
One decision that I would change.
Yeah.
That is a very deep question, Joe Slawter. I might have to ask you the same one back, so just start thinking.
Okay.
One thing that I would change, I don't know.
Kind of all muddles together.
I've learned from everything,
Yeah.
so I mean, there's little things that I would change, like not going around the roundabout in the wrong way so I don't crash into the other guy.
That would be a good one.
But that's not the only one. Those kind of things I wish I would have made. But
Yeah.
life stuff, I feel like even though it might not have turned out the best, I still learned. So
Gotcha.
I'm good with no regrets.
Gotcha.
What about you?
I mean, your answer is philosophical and better than mine.
Normally
no.
you're more philosophical than
That's
I am.
true.
So
I would say I wish I would have started trusting that I had a lot to give earlier. Took me a while to realize that I had a meaningful gift to contribute to the world. And I don't know if other people out there like struggle with that, but that to me is I wish I'd have trusted that and believed in that and then acted upon it. Not just like, okay, no, I'm good. It wasn't like that insecurity. It's just like, I just didn't know that I had something to give to the world that was meaningful. So if you're out there, you're stuck with that, you've got something, so go give it because the world needs it. It's important.
that was philosophical. You matched my philosophical answer.
Good.
That was great.
There it is. Now you know. Now you know
It's been
Joe and
nice
Charity.
working with you.